Long, long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, it is time for us to finally tackle that sci fi epic. A movie that would never have been possible without the contributions and work of one George Lucas. Yes,
Perfect. The
indeed.
generations of Star Chaser Legend of Ori. Let's go.
No, 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 no. We can save that for another day. No, no, no. Instead, it's time for us to look at the wars that took place amongst the stars in this very own commentary of Spaceballs.
Of course.
Yep,
Surprise.
that's right. It's finally time for us to look at a Mel Brooks movie. Surprising it took us this long. And yes, I wasn't kidding when I said that this movie would not have been possible without George Lucas. So, believe it or not, Spaceballs is probably one of the better looking parodies of a big epic franchise because, well, Industrial Light and Magic actually were allowed to help provide the special effects to this. Because Mel Brooks had actually approached George Lucas about this, and, there was a lot of worry that Lucas was not going to let this stand, especially given copyright and whatnot. Lucas was actually on board with this, gave some support to it, and like I said, provided ILM on one condition: no merchandising, basically.
Which is ironic considering one scene that happens in the middle of a movie.
Basically, if you ever wonder why you can't find merchandise of Spaceballs, that is why. That being said, Spaceballs is something that has gone for a bit of a cult following recognition. On a budget of $22.7 million, it made $40.3 million. So I'm
Modest.
not sure if it's. Yeah, modest. From what I can gather, it wasn't considered a bomb for the time. That being said, what was a bit more mixed was the reception. It has a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes. That being said, if you are familiar enough with how the internet goes and, the goings on of the Hollywood media world here, you're probably aware that Spaceballs nowadays is much, much more beloved than it was back when it first came out, essentially. See, back in the day, people thought a fine enough spoof and whatnot, but one that was a far cry from Mel Brooks's peak era. Which is, again, ironic given how nowadays it's regarded as one of his ultra classics.
While a couple
That
of his
said,
others have aged up particularly for the worse, if you ask me.
for me, particularly, my favorite of his that I've seen is still Blazing Saddles, but that's for another day. So yeah, I'll admit this is my first time actually seeing Spaceballs. I've been meaning to watch this film for a while, but I've never really gotten the chance. So now I guess here shall be it. Has anyone else seen this movie?
I have a couple of
I
Yes.
have.
times.
Yes.
This is one
Oh,
of the two Mel Brooks films I've seen. The other was Robin Hood Men in Tights.
goody. All right then. So, without further ado, start literally at the start of the film, black screen and everything, and let's begin in 3, 2, 1, click. I wonder if part of the reason this film did get some backlash back in its day was maybe people thought, oh, this is just a 2-bit means to cash in on Star Wars.
Possible.
Which,
We might have felt a bit too scatterbrained because I can tell that the parody aspect that he does are a bit all over the place. It takes Once Upon a Time Warp, of course. It takes a bit of elements in just remixes. Waves, if you please.
In a galaxy very, 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 very far away, there lived a ruthless race of beings known as Spaceballs.
Oh no.
Chapter 11. The evil leaders of planet Spaceball, having foolishly squandered their precious atmosphere, have devised a secret plan to take every breath of air away from their peace-loving neighbor, planet Droidia.
Yes, Ratchet and Clank
You know.
fans, the first game is a reference also to this.
cute.
Today is Princess Vesper's wedding day. Unbeknownst to the princess, but knownst to us, danger lurks in the stars above.
It's almost like there are wars in these stars. Also, you gotta love the irony of them technically calling the whole prequel original trilogy thing by making this chapter 11, since originally A New Hope was the start, but, nowadays, obviously, it's known as Episode 4.
You remember episode 4?
If you can read this, you don't need glasses.
Sorry, Shiri. But remember, Job, episode 4, 5, and 6 were started to be labeled like that since 1981.
Oh, so was it because Lucas had, the plans in motion for the prequels by that point?
Either that, or I still, had the idea,
Okay, so never mind. I guess this is a parody off of that.
Speaking of parody, the composer here is John Norris, who has scored for a bunch of, a lot of important movies, like the Clue movie, for example, The Elephant Man, and Young Frankenstein. He is kind of a regular of Mel Brooks, and he does a decent enough job to capture John Williams', zany epicness. More so in some scenes than others.
That being said, like I've mentioned, one thing that makes this stand out amongst parodies is the set design and the scale that they managed to achieve, given the fact that, again, they had backing from Lucas and ILM themselves, so yeah, it can look the part.
That's a very long ship.
At least it's not phallic, thank goodness.
It'll take it's going to take 2 years to get to the other end.
Also,
a lot of people have made the joke.
We're saving the penis jokes for later.
Dibs, it's funny you mention that. A lot of people have made the joke that the Death Star should logistically take at least a month to traverse when you think about it.
Still going.
Oh my god, the Star Trek the motion picture again.
This is the whole movie, guys.
We break for nobody. It's possible because this movie does not parody just Star Wars, but a bunch of other sci-fi stuff, including also Star Trek the Motion Picture, so it's entirely possible they want to reference that.
For those who don't know, I don't know if he was the first to do it, but Mel Brooks definitely pioneered the sort of format that Seltzerberg tries to go for, that being a movie that technically focuses on a main plot, but does throw in a ton of other cameos, crossovers, and spoofs of other media.
So our our Moff Tarkin equivalent here is called Colonel Sanders. Get it? She's played by George Weiner.
Also, there he is, the one, the only.
Rick
Moranis. Darth Vader really let himself go.
George Weiner was, oh god, he was also in The Postman a few years after this. Poor guy.
Is this Rick Moranis' most popular role?
It's either that or Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. The Flintstones is still known, but not as much. There he is.
I'd say his Ghostbusters role and Little Shop of Horrors is also up there.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So who plays him? Rick Moranis?
Yeah.
Yes.
Again,
see, you don't cast someone like him and have him be in a mask the whole movie.
Again,
you didn't put ventilation in the thing?
Unfortunately, I guess that's the entire joke. Again, the entire point is that Dark Helmet is a gigantic dork. Uh-oh. Oh, right in the Spaceballs. That's terrible.
He's now sterile.
This isn't how the Force should be used.
And yeah, from now on, basically the running gag is that if the other perceives even slightly that Dark Helmet might be pissed off, they immediately cover their junks. Sure.
Actually, yes.
I prefer Mr. T.
So, Shira, you mentioned you've seen this movie before. Curious, have you seen the Star Wars films before, too?
I don't know if you were here when I said this, but I've seen more sci-fi parodies than the actual movies themselves.
Yeah, you did mention
Beautiful.
that. You did mention that when we did the holiday special.
Yeah. I was about to say, sadly, we can't joke that we saw this before Star Wars because we technically have commentated on a Star Wars piece of media, the holiday special.
And man, do I like to forget that.
Don't worry, I'll be sure to bring you guys also on the Ewoks made for TV movie eventually.
I really have trouble believing that thing is actually worse than the holiday special, like some people say, but I do.
I'm sure it's not. It's just.
If you want,
I'm sure it's just like, why does this exist?
However, again, like I said a couple of times, if you ever wanted to see Wilford Brimley, the diabetes guy, having to get into a sword fight with a bad guy, those movies got you covered. I don't know why you wanted that specific thing, but here you go.
You guys didn't tell me this movie was in 3D.
Wait, a sword fight in Star Wars.
Well, from Wilford Brimley, of all people. It's not like the first guy you think of. Anyway, here's one of the breakout roles for the movie, which is not necessarily a role equivalent. The equivalent of a father to the Princess Leia of this movie. King Roland, played by the legendary Dick Van Patten. Sorry. So yeah, our Princess Leia equivalent, I forgot what her actual name, Vespa, there you go. She's played by Daphne Zuniga, and she's engaged to be wed.
How lovely. And she's accompanied by Dot Matrix, the parody of C-3PO, played by Joan Rivers, voice-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, she's played by Laureen Yarnell.
Damn. Prince Valium is played by Jim J. Bullock instead, which I swear I've seen him somewhere else.
These are definitely some outfits.
Also, is the
I
priest... I have to ask, did Disney took inspiration from the design of this priest from the one from The Little Mermaid? Because he looks identical.
Yeah, it's possible.
I love how this space church is really just a normal church and just put some space bits all over it.
Don't lampshade it too much, Dweebs, or the policeman will arrest you like at the end of Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
It would appear that our princess has decided to fly the coop from her wedding.
Literally. What do you think is she doing? Meanwhile...
A space RV.
Maybe he has narcolepsy.
A space camper van.
That's the space trucker for, life. Oh god, it's US-1.
Hey, it's got that 80s rock riff to it and everything. Ha! I love your... Yes. I almost feel more sorry for that planet than Pluto.
So here we have the legendary and also late John Candy. God, I miss him. Playing the Chewbacca equivalent, Barf.
Apparently that tail is an actual prosthetic that has motors and everything in it.
Mm-hmm. And here instead we have the President of the United States in Independence Day, Bill Pullman, as Lone Star. Which basically is a mixture between Luke and Han Solo's characters.
And of course he's dressed like Indiana Jones.
It looks like if Indiana Jones tried to cosplay Han Solo but just got lazy.
I would not be surprised if that was the intent.
Ow.
Fair. Wasn't he in Leprechaun, now that I think about it?
I think so.
know he was in the Blues Brothers. Oh, right, he was also in Heavy Metal.
Yeah, he was the. I forgot the name of the guy that gets turned into handsome man.
Okay.
So yeah, in order to parody the fact that the whole thing about Han Solo owing money to Jabba the Hutt, instead we have this guy Pizza the Hutt, get it, you know,
Okay.
with the fact that Lone Star and Barf owe him money.
You did not try to out Pizza the Hut now, did you?
I can use this time to mention quickly. My country has a track record of translating all of the jokes from Mel Brooks movies fine enough. Without having to compromise stuff. One of the few exceptions is this case, on the account that back in the day, Pizza Hut was completely unknown as a restaurant chain in my country. So instead, they just called him something different. I forgot. Nowadays, with the internet, we wouldn't know anyway. I don't remember who plays the Boba Fett equivalent. Pizza the Hut was down the Louise, in case you need to know. They got all the shit on the poor guy.
The work that must have gone into making
actually,
that
no.
costume.
There you go. The guy in the suit was instead Richard Caron, and Don DeLuise voice acted. Okay.
Anyway, Rudy DeLuca plays Vinny, Pizza's robotic sidekick there. He's a parody of, get this, Max Headroom.
I guess in reference to the story, might be, loosely based around instead IG-88, one of the minor bounty hunters that was present one of the group shots of episode 5. Okay, there's one thing that I argue I don't particularly like in terms of comedy of the movies, but Princess Vespa is a bit stereotyped, for lack of a better term. They seem to have gotten the idea of, Princess Leia was a bit, stuck up in episode 4, before she got to know more about Yan and Luke and everything. So they're basing the parody around entirely her personality. But again, more on that later. For now, instead, here's the Palpatine equivalent, the president of Spaceball City, which is played by Mel Brooks himself, because of course.
Mel Brooks is definitely one of those aces at just starring in his own movies.
It's the Lorax movie, so many years earlier.
Why are you inhaling it?
Because it's canned air. Again, apparently the entire joke... Hello. Apparently the entire joke is that the Spaceball City does not have much fresh air because of pollution, so they want to steal it from Dridia. So they even literally have canned air.
He's also a drug addict.
Yeah. Also, I wonder, Joba, is this character supposed to be potentially a take on the character that Raquel Welch was supposed to play originally in the holiday special?
Wonder. Maybe. Wouldn't that be something, though, somehow Mel Brooks was aware of deleted content, which, if I recall correctly, was a lot harder to come across in that day.
Interviews in magazines and so on were a thing at the time.
Has he seen Star Trek by any chance?
Well, yes, Dedge, because we're about to parody the teleportation now scene.
Yeah, but Spaceballs says Mel Brooks never watched Star Wars, so that's the joke.
Oops.
Bridge control. What we got here did not link long enough, fortunately. Get it? Because in Star Trek, Scotty was Scottish, so that was literally in the name.
Anyway, this woman is Commanderette Zircon, played by Leslie Beavis. Who is a Star Trek Deep Space Nine veteran.
Well, that one came after this, so I think. Wait, hold on, let me check the years when they came out. Yeah, it was a 90s series, so it's more of an ironic kind of thing.
Yeah, true. Oh, for your delight, Tio, she was in Murder, She Wrote as well.
Because, of course. Again, if Mark Hamill is held
And
against
it was
for
right
getting
in
one
the
M.
next room.
I also love the salute when they're doing. Okay.
That was an exchange.
Uh,
Mel Brooks is the Emperor.
Why not?
yes.
What's the difference?
Not gonna lie, that does seem up Joan Rivers' sense of comedy.
Oh yeah, wonder why Princess Leia didn't do that.
Her father hadn't been fought up yet.
Quite a few.
It's a family scheme, you know. What I love is that for the Italian dub, for that final line, "keep firing, asshole," the VA made Dark Helmet sound actually exasperated in saying that.
Okay, I'm curious. Had the meme about Stormtrooper's aim become a major thing at this point?
Yes. You have to remember, Jova, that back when the Star movies came out, you know, everything that kept around circulating about what we know to this day was, I like, immediate. You know, the popularity of Boba Fett, despite his lack of action on screen, you know, the Stormtrooper, you know, marksman aid. The only major things that were changed were the opinions, because back when Episode 5 came out, it was polarizing, to say the least. And when Episode 6 came out, people thought that it was weak because it was the third in the trilogy, as referenced by X-Men First Class.
Huh. Just the amount they need to pay off their debts.
Nothing like it.
Remember when 2001 was the far distant future?
Nothing like extorting rich people.
Just one step below eating the rich.
Okay.
You don't say. You know, kind of the funny thing about the Stormtrooper aim meme, though, is like, maybe it was something that became legit in later movies, I don't entirely remember, but one thing people tend to forget is that the Stormtroopers actually were effective in A New Hope. Like, they pretty much slaughtered the soldiers on Leia's ship, and I know a lot of people bring up, oh, they were constantly missing when Luke and company burst Leia out. Yeah, that's because they were intentionally letting them go as part of Tarkin's plan, essentially. But a lot of people
Sorry,
tend
all
to
the good,
forget that
confident
detail.
stormtroopers died on the Death Star.
Okay.
Probably
Well,
not the smartest idea to put your best men in
well,
one area.
that's the thing, that according to Battlefront 2's campaign, that was part of Vader's master plan in terms of, you know, emergency, by sending away the best contingency, the 501st, and keeping someone else as reserves on it.
So technically, he did think ahead. Go figure.
Clearly. Alright, time to jam the signal, and of course, how do we do that? Periscope, okay. I mean,
With literal
Ah.
jam.
I guess.
Uh-huh.
Looks like a tomato sauce.
It's chunky jam.
I was wondering before that, have you seen any more movies that had John Candy in it?
Like what?
I don't know, like you might have known like the
Uncle
actor.
Buck.
No, you haven't seen Heavy Metal. Well, okay, you've seen Rescuers Down Under, right?
Yes.
He played the Albatross, the brother.
Okay.
Of the There was also something else that he was in that you might have seen, but I forgot exactly. Cool Runnings, have you seen that? That was his
No.
final role.
Have you seen Blues Brothers? He was in that.
No.
Alright, you have a lot to catch up.
Oh, I did see Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Fair enough, then.
I really need to get around to seeing that movie. Yes. Oh.
Oh no.
It's bleeding.
Yeah, it looks like something from Stephen King's The Shining. Oh, there you go, it's raspberry. Oh, of course. Ow. Too close.
Out of the camera.
I like how they're like, don't even bother helping him. He might get angry about that.
But he's your boss.
Yeah, and I don't want to have my lower boss shrunk by him.
Just a casual, strolling through the space ladder.
Clearly, barf species can breathe in space.
Ha ha ha. That's sweet.
That's really sad, actually.
How's he breathing?
It's fine, Limbs. Oral projection. Call it whatever you want. Oh no.
All dogs breathe in space. I don't know.
Clearly.
Like, at least Dot Matrix is a robot, but
Maybe
the
that's the
princess
secret.
is the super being, or
Maybe that's the secret, Jova. Maybe Leica will return, in a couple of decades with an alien force as revenge.
yeah.
Ow. Ow.
Ow.
I hope it didn't actually hurt, given that those are apparently. I forget if it was consistently using hydraulics for the ears and tails, or if that was occasional.
Degree, so I also love that Mog's room, as in his toilet, is the hydrant. But yeah, like I was saying, again, Princess Vespa characterization, while it's okay for the most part, I argue, the joke gets a bit too stale with the idea of, oh, she's very stuck up and all.
Yeah, that's what people think Leia is.
I guess. I don't think. I know that a couple of people theorize that, but I don't think they wanted to capture the idea of Carrie Fisher being stoned out of her ass because of her cocaine addiction at the time. No, I don't really think they wanted to do that.
Poor Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Like, I know the reason why it happened is because.
What do you mean by that?
It's because she was depressed that her career wasn't going anywhere
And
after
it's worth
Star
noting
Wars.
that Hollywood had a general drug problem at the time. Lots of circulations and everything.
The sad thing is, from what I've been able to surmise, part of the problem her career didn't go much places after Star Wars was also because a bit of the drug addiction. Again, a lot of people have pointed out, it's weird that of the three main actors, it was Harrison Ford who hit it big. Not to say Mark Hamill didn't go on to be a celebrity, he did, but he apparently...
He had to take up voice acting.
Yeah, like he said, one of his big appearances in live actions were Murder, She Wrote, where he turned out to be the killer of the episode, because of course, and one of the supporting characters in Wing Commander.
Let me guess. The main code with Murder, She Wrote is if there's a big name celebrity in it,
No.
they're either the killer or a
Well,
oh,
or at
okay.
least the people that get roped in, yes. Because, for example, one episode has Neil Patrick Harris when he was like, what, 14? And he's the one that gets implicated.
But yeah, Murder, She Wrote seems to be like the Monk of its time. The comedy murder mystery series.
Murder, She Wrote was a comedy?
No, it had some levity to it, but it's ow. But it's considered a cozy murder mystery, as in murder still happens, but it's not presented in a horrific way, the way a movie like Seven, will do.
Yeah, like it's technically billed as a crime drama, essentially. Kind of similar to Monk, which is mystery drama. Although Monk does legit throw in mystery comedy drama. That's why I partly compare Murder, She Wrote to Monk in that Murder, She Wrote definitely has a lot of levity. Maybe not full-on comedy, but it's not afraid to have comedy, despite the gruesome murders.
Damn it.
The reason I compare it to Monk, though, is that both Murder, She Wrote and Monk were heavy on guest stars to the point where practically almost any actor you could think of at the time at some point showed up in each. Ludicrous speed!
Fun fact, the Italian set of trophies/achievements for the 2014 Strider video game referenced that for the trophy about beating the game in less than, 5 hours? I forgot the actual name. The speedrun trophy, basically. In English, it's called Speed Demon, but for my country, we decided to instead reference this.
Whee!
I mean, it is ludicrous, I will say that.
I'm almost surprised they didn't do the joke of consistently changing what it says on the back. Light speed. Ridiculous speed.
Yeah,
Ludicrous
we get
speed!
there. The slow talking might be also a reference to that hyper, FTL sequence in Star Trek The Motion Picture when everything gets trippy. And this, of course, is instead the 2001 Space Odyssey to an extent.
Watch this. Eventually they go into the Speed Racer telescope. Oops. Yeah, they kind of overshot them.
Thankfully, the emergency brake was there.
Emergency stop, never use.
Whee! Oof.
Oof.
He's
Should've
okay.
strapped in, mate.
Probably gonna need a new helmet, though. Aw, see? He's a good boss, willing to give him a break.
This would be perfect for the theater release to have the break. But to be fair, it's not even halfway through.
The
We'll be
Monty
right back.
Python intermission.
Kinda.
Sorry, can't let you end the movie that quickly.
God, it's just like in Star Sector. You run out of gas when you don't want it.
So who plays the Han Solo?
Bill Pullman, the President of the United States from the Independence Day movies.
Oh my god!
Also, Dedge, the paranormal investigator from the first Casper movie.
Oh god, he looked familiar. I can't escape Casper.
No, you can't, Dedge. I'm sorry.
What an insane movie.
Watch out, you're gonna crash. Ah!
Ah!
So here we are on not Tatooine.
Basically, I don't know if they still filmed in Tunisia, similar to what Lucasfilm did, but I wouldn't be too surprised.
Also, the princess looks like Kobe Smulders from that one shot. I know it's not her, but it's like really funny.
We appear to have landed on a weird place called Jakku. Okay.
Ow. Of course.
Just check to make sure she's not your sister first.
Yeah. What was the rating of this movie? Because I don't think there is a lot of major swearing instead.
Let's see. PG.
Yeah, fair enough.
You could stay. Even to this day, you can technically stuff
Look
like
at that,
the.
Dweebs. Your favorite
They said
environment.
asshole multiple times.
God,
And they've said the S word as well, which, from what I understand, you can say those in PG movies even to this day as well.
Also, why the Lawrence of Arabia theme? Because it's the desert? Come on.
Yes.
So, damn. Sure. I threw it on the ground.
You must think I'm a joke.
Thank you, Barf.
Hmm.
I wonder if that hairdryer would be a plot point.
I'm sure the camera
So-
focused on it for no reason in particular.
Now the movie has a bit of an idea. A very fourth-dimensional idea. What? Hashtag shameless plug.
Might as well.
I mean, with streaming services and everything, you might as well get to the point where, they release a product while still making it.
Eventually, movies
Netflix's
will
plan.
be.
Please do not spoil it for him.
Eventually, movies will literally be shown as they are being made.
Yeah, let's move a bit, Yeah, I guess it can count as an out-of-body experience. So.
Anyways,
This is a Looney Tunes joke.
Yeah, it's another meme. There you go. Yeah, again, this movie is very quotable in some places.
Yes, that's why it's amazing.
Wait, and here we.
What? I guess this can count as a reference to 2001, considering what happens towards the end of it. Time really is just an illusion we all agreed upon.
yes.
I wish it would work in my favor for once.
Clearly, Jova, you're not a VTuber. That apparently works only for them.
Okay,
Bastards.
okay, Marvel. If you ever want to adapt Gwenpool in a TV show or movie, like animated and whatnot, you have to make her gag something like this.
But Dedge, which Gwenpool?
What are you talking?
Oh God, you don't know.
Right, I forgot.
I find it more
Yeah,
funny
remember-
that the original Gwenpool was created specifically to be neither a mutant, so not a Deadpool variant, nor a Gwen Stacy variant, because Marvel wanted to keep the film rights. How fucking petty!
Honestly, that I think that's why I never read her comics when I learned that's why she was made. It's like, what a cynical creation.
How funny though, since nowadays we have a literal Gwenpool, which is apparently the actual Gwen Stacy, either cloned or brought back from the dead and
We're
fused with
moving on.
Wolverine.
We're moving on. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Please. This is the scene where they too mellow out.
Of course they did.
It's funny that if you remember, this kind of plot point, let's say, just, as a cliche, rather, as a trope, rather than to be taken strictly from this movie, it's literally what happens in The Mummy Returns, when Brendan Fraser is retconned to have been a Magyar, just raised in the orphanage, because he had the tattoo.
Yeah.
Clearly. Uh-huh. Okay. I guess that works as a chastity belt.
Jesus.
Though I see, like with Robin Hood Men in Tights, there's one character dedicated to seeing to it that the main characters do not bone.
Yes.
We gotta keep the age rating, guys.
Which is kind of interesting because Dot Matrix was the first one who suggested that the guy they were with might be hot, although that might have just been to try and get the princess to see some reason. He's dying of thirst in more than one way.
Of course. Who are you, Keanu Reeves? I think Johnny Mnemonic was 1991, and it again contains possibly one of the snarmiest lines in sci-fi history, where Keanu just goes, "I want room service." Also, I love that we can see Dot Matrix actual shoes under the costume.
Don't worry about it.
Again, it's very intentional. Oh,
No, Mr. President!
oh. And everyone died.
The end.
But maybe the bad guys of all people might save them.
Oh, instead we have the Jawas equivalent. Because of course.
Oh god, did they merge them with the Ewoks by the sound of those clips?
Destroyed them.
Dead people.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, even in the Star Wars mythos, the Jawas were all about looting as much as they could.
Yeah. Destroyed them.
Savaging the parts and all. The bronze on the capes, it's so glittering.
I was gonna say, I think that's just glitter.
I guess they're friendly in this version.
I mean, it is a small world after all.
Get it? I get Small World because it's owned by Disney, and now Disney owns Star Wars.
I
Disney owns
Wait.
everything.
Wait, do Disney own Spaceballs as well?
No,
No.
It's MGM, so Amazon instead. How?
Oh god, that's worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, given
What?
a certain... Oh,
I love that they kept the wipe.
beautiful. Honestly, all that was missing was for the wipe to knock someone out.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, there's not much in terms of editing jokes on that kind of level. Alright, so now instead we're having, for some reason, a Wizard of Oz parody, and I like about the implication joke. If you pay attention in terms of figures were represented, the movie is not telling explicitly, but in order to which figure represents, Lone Star is the Scarecrow, so the one without brain.
Also, it's like a Temple of Doom, guys. Cute.
TM. Oh, that's Lobo.
And as is typical, Mel Brooks does indeed portray multiple roles throughout
In this
this
case,
movie.
the Yoda parody, Master Yogurt, which is him on his knees. Ouch.
It's pronounced yogurt.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is a Wizard of Oz reference.
Yes. Like we mentioned, this movie, while mainly parodying Star Wars, does have a few other parodies in there.
Do you want to get sued?
Shiny. See, when I said about when the Star Wars movie, immediately had everything from the get-go. I mean, also the fact about the merciless shilling of merchandising, the more soulless aspect. So really, Disney really not invented anything. They just got. Also, is that Optimus Prime?
They just inherited it. They just inherited it.
Also,
It
yes,
is in
yes,
Optimus
indeed.
Prime.
Yes, there are indeed Transformers references in this movie as well.
They just have those.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jesus.
To be fair, Transformers is heavily synonymous with the 80s, so I get it.
Also, you guys have to realize, merchandising is where the real bulk of most movies' revenues comes
Yeah,
from.
like Master Yogurt just said.
Movies, TVs, yeah.
Yeah,
TV shows.
Speaking of
but
merchandise.
that's
Yeah.
that's not a joke. That's the reality of it.
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think a lot of cartoons back in the day felt very toyetic?
I mean, Transformers was literally made for toys. I think Scooby-Doo was the first ever time a show was allowed to truly exist outside of being need to be made for toys. They've gone over it with a fine-tooth comb.
I don't think so.
Nah.
I love the costume set for this.
I know, right? Like, the Dark Helmet needs to have the gigantic Explorer helmet.
And I'm glad that Rick committed to the bit.
You took this too literally, huh?
So, Mel Brooks plays both the big bad and the big good of this movie. Truly the duality of man. I really hope that back in the day we had developed skin paints that weren't suffocating, because man, all that paint does not look comfortable on him.
Plus the
Sorry,
makeup.
you gotta wait until the plot says it's important.
Well, this is why I say I hope that by the 80s, they had made makeup that was, humane to wear. But what is the power of the Schwarz?
Okay, Bill, just think about that you're going to play the president someday.
Ooh, a real big Schwartz then.
Well,
Wait,
I mean, the real Schwartz was just a governor of a state rather than the president, Drova.
The Schwarzenegger.
Ow.
Sorry, Ooh! Ooh!
Also, what were you doing behind that, bar? Were you peeing behind the statue?
Ow.
That'll straighten itself out, eventually.
Yeah, sure.
Do you feel it coming?
Well, it is tonight, so maybe it's in the air.
I've heard of the power of the Schwartz. I think I've heard about it in, this weird YouTube ad. Along the same cosmos about finding hot singles in my area.
Of course you do.
Oh, I see. So whereas he can grow the Schwartz, he can only shrink the Schwartz.
Clearly.
No wonder his henchmen are terrified.
Sleep mode.
Perhaps she can hear him through the Schwarz.
Says the guy who would clearly would lie.
Supervision. Ow.
Well, yeah, we fixed the ship and
Oh.
gave him gas. So. Oh. Well, that depends.
That'd never happen.
And give it a few decades, maybe.
Well, if the entire cast doesn't pass away first.
I guess now we can talk about it now that they've joked about it. Yes, a sequel is indeed being made.
It was rumored for a long time, like Mel Brooks wanted to let it happen for a lot of time. There was an attempt at an animated series, but the less said, the better about it. Finally, apparently 2025, they mentioned that it was greenlit. I guess someone at Amazon was like, yeah, fine, whatever. We'll have to
Which
see how
does
it
lead me
works,
to
considering,
wonder.
like I said, half of the
Mel
cast...
Brooks is like 100 years old right now.
Half of the cast is dead, the other half is old as shit, so I wonder if we might get
And they also don't want anything to do with Hollywood anymore.
So I do wonder how
Can't-
much of a Blues Brothers 2000 effect we will have.
Like, the fact that Rick Moranis is coming back
Out of
is
retirement.
something.
He was already supposed to come out of retirement with the sequel to Honey Shrunk the Kids, but Disney apparently put that on hold indefinitely, so we don't know what happens with that.
I have enough faith in this one at least because, okay, Blues Brothers 2000 was like a Hollywood sellout. These are like people who are, like you mentioned, kind of sick of Hollywood, so actually it seems like they would want to do a sequel right as well. Also, the fact that they're bringing back a lot of the actors who, let's be honest, sadly aren't the biggest of names outside of Spaceballs, which does show some good dedication there too.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just doing it for Mel more than anything.
Probably.
Anyway, why do you have those?
Yeah, Dark Helmet is a dork. Yeah.
Wait a
fantastic.
minute.
God damn it.
It's a bit rude. Just knock on the door.
Spray toilet paper. Just mash up your computers, you'll be fine.
So when Spaceballs comes out in cinemas, I want the one I go to just be decked out in all the Spaceballs regalia with the toilet paper.
Why do you even have one of them there?
It's like, why? Why the bathroom?
Why not?
I guess he wants to be able to get an update wherever he is.
Kind of reminds me of... kind of reminds me of one of the episodes of Biker Mice from Mars. I love the aside glance. Where the bad guy of the show was contacted while in the tub, so they actually had to forego the colloquial Mars greeting, because otherwise he would need to stand up. Oh no? Oh no, like what kind of grafting experiment would you have to do? Also, no, they did not answer the question.
You cave easily.
Like, couldn't you arguably just have the surgery redone afterwards?
Wow, you are terrible at.
I know,
Man, it'd
right?
be a real shame if actual major passwords or to the secrets of national security were actually this basic,
God
right?
damn it.
Oh my god.
Hey, you turned the movie up. Oh my.
Couldn't you just wait?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything.
Well, the president's lives, don't you know? Of course.
He's like, oh, this guy's in charge.
CEO behavior.
Ow.
Ow.
I love the ass cheeks extra protection.
Oh my.
No, they just, beat them up the edge. Yeah, of course.
Hey, look, it's absolute Catwoman. Oh my god, is that her costume actually a Spaceball?
I wonder. Nah, not worth it. That's the boss's problem. I'm off now.
I guess the joke is that she can sing fine?
Her voice is deeper than they would expect. Well, her singing voice, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Sammy from Sinners.
Ow. Wee.
Well, at least he'll get his tail jammed again. You left the door open though, rude.
Shit. Alright, let me choose this time to check what was this movie competing against. June 24, 1987. Let's see, we had... oh, the first Predator was released around the time. That one
nice.
did 98 million, so it wasn't. It was more than this, but not that much more. There was oh god, the Brave Little Toaster a few days after.
Oh, yeah, that movie's pretty good.
But barely
terrifying for kids, but
barely
yeah.
anyone saw it in the cinemas because apparently the box office was estimated 2.3 million.
Okay, part of the reason for that was because
Classic.
Disney, being Disney, were flaky on that movie, but when they realized, oh crap, we've got a good one, they decided to gear it more towards home media, so they kind of neutered its theater run.
Of course.
Brilliant.
And Full Metal Jacket around the same time too, which definitely made a lot more money.
Conserve air, breathe less.
I don't know who this particular lieutenant is, but maybe it's another cameo from another guy that worked with Mel Brooks.
Oh.
Don't you just hate it when that happens?
Oh no, not the.
Who is the keys and never mind.
Wait for it.
Oh no, he didn't. Coming soon, Princess Vespa is the next president of the NRA.
Damn, Tio. I guess Charlton Heston's got some competition.
Clearly.
And Rambo apparently as well.
Yeah, get it? Scroob is Brooks mixed around.
Anagram and all, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't vote for him.
Again, Sherman Drake in the original Ratchet & Clank was this concept but a bit more serious, definitely.
And then the movie basically made him.
Don't worry, Dad. I'll be sure to show you that too.
No.
You know what's the most insane part, Dad, from that movie?
What?
Outside of the fact that Kevin Michael Richardson gets replaced by Paul Giamatti, he's the
He
one
did
that
get the
gets
paycheck.
He's the one that gets top billing.
Which is really jarring given what actually happens to him in the movie.
Alright,
oh god.
So the Spaceballs ship has the capability of transforming, because of course.
Oh, right, yeah, they're referencing Unicron from the Transformers movie.
Yeah, what was the one Transformer that can turn into a ship that the other Decepticons can ride into?
Astro Train.
Oh, okay.
Well, Triptychon could do it as well, depends. But if you're talking about the movie, that was Astro Train who they rode in.
And the Autobot's name is what called again?
Omega Supreme.
Yeah, that's what.
Of course,
but
we're
yeah,
gonna
no.
suck the air literally.
Okay, had Ghostbusters 2 come out already at this point?
I think so. Let me check. The fact that it resembles the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah. So this would be both a Transformers and Ghostbusters 2 reference of all things.
That's so weird that the Ghostbusters basically have a mech.
That was 2 years after this, 1989.
That scene was flipping awesome.
Of course, the also sprang Zarathustra drums. There you go.
I'm honestly surprised they didn't do the more lowbrow thing, given that they have a female-looking robot that could suck stuff. But no, it's with a vacuum instead.
Nope. Don't worry, Joe. I'm very saving the blowjob jokes for later too.
Oh, right, yeah, this is the equivalent of Alderaan. You are toast.
Well, more like dry. It's arguably more disturbing because Alderaan was annihilated in an instant, while here instead they had to die by hypoxia.
Don't you just love when the comedy parody in some cases is more horrifying than the serious original one?
Yeah, might as well give it a try.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Let's assume you can shoot it, through the ship, and
It's
not,
more
hit
about
the inside of your ship.
it's more about telekinesis rather than shooting a beam. Bill Pullman's constipated face. There you go.
There we go.
Why did
Why
we
do you
add a
even have that
reverse
setting if you're going to
yeah.
suck the air out?
Huh.
Well, at least they put the snow back on the Paramount Mountain.
I love it. We just literally needed to reverse the shot. So.
Now it's time to take the fight to the villains.
I mean, of course, one staple of the Star Wars movies is to blow up the station from inside.
Yeah, not like that. Okay, if you remember that bit in the video game, don't touch the lines.
Exactly.
It's the most dangerous game of irritating stick.
One thing I wonder, when the sequel eventually comes out, did Amazon have to, check with Disney if they're okay with this? Because I know that, to avoid legal issues, they did the whole thing with Lucas with this one, but God, imagine if the sequel actually is allowed to have merchandise.
No fucking clue. If I had to guess, maybe every contract that Lucasfilm had in its possession got transferred automatically to Disney, and they decided what to do with them. Fair enough.
Barf really is the voice of reason here.
Hmm.
Well, that's not conspicuous at all.
Neck massage?
No. Yeah. It's down there. Yeah, there. There you go. Or as they call it in my country, the profanity nerve. Because as you pinch it, you'll be compelled to say some things you shouldn't.
God, 1 minute.
There you go.
That was very helpful.
Really
Well,
top
it's
person
nice
if you
that they're...
really meant it. Wow, so much merchandising. The shaving
I guess they
cream.
figured, look, we had all this merchandise, but we're actually not allowed to legally use it, so let's just put it in the movie.
No.
Oh, no.
Just to be sure, like, I'm pretty sure the whipped cream on his face was enough. Like, thank God the shaving cream is not acidic in nature.
Ugh.
Self-destruct button. Do not push unless you really, really mean it.
But I do mean it.
You need to work on your lines. Of course, gonna need to parody that twist.
Who works at Nintendo?
Okay, and
It's not really impressive. Yeah.
Ooh.
Do you need to hold it like that?
Yes.
Do either of you need to hold it like that?
It allows us to focus our Schwarz, Roy.
Clearly. Well, it's not a matter of how you do it, but how you use it, clearly. I'm curious about the color choice, though, you know. Again, green was known by that point thanks to Return of the Jedi, but a yellow lightsaber was not really outside of, more merchandising material.
Oh, so that's where the Rise of Skywalker got this from.
You need to be
Ow.
you need to be more careful with that. Oh, sure, whatever.
Mel, aren't you gonna do something? What if your crew's been killed?
Yeah, don't you just
Is
hate
it-
it when this happens?
It's kind of painful, but thankfully my Schwarz is flexible enough.
Damn, having sex like that must be painful.
Or creative if you're Mr. Fantastic.
Painfully creative. Or creatively painful.
Suppose.
Hacks.
You know what? Fair enough. Okay, now let's just be mean.
Stuff him in the locker.
In a locker, nerd.
No, don't.
Also, I like that little trick where his accent... I like that little trick that his accent changes when he has the helmet on. Probably
Yes,
in reference to how different Darth Vader's voice was.
I wish that wasn't so true.
Sometimes the comedies give us the harshest of truths.
Yeah, if this film were made in Britain, they'd replace the Wide World of Sports bit with Grandstand.
Of course, it was always
Why
in
is
him.
that?
Because that was the name of a show that's kind of like that around here in the UK.
Ooh.
Oh!
And just it for the button.
First of all, why would you install the... God, is that what Kiss Next Door was referencing?
Possible.
Possible.
Also,
Look,
don't
that's-
forget
that's-
that there's a reason why the Evil Overlord list was created during the early years of the internet.
Look, Dedge, it may surprise you to know this, but despite being a parody, Spaceballs itself inspired a lot of parodies.
In case you're wondering, there's an episode of Kids Next Door where number 5's sister gets captured, but she's stranded in space because the two pilots were arguing over a trading card and accidentally hit the blow up the engine button.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Everyone run!
Kids Next Door is a great show. I strongly recommend watching it.
It was one of my favorites growing up.
God, like, I mean, again, on paper it seems like just a little fun kid show, but it actually was a kid show with quite an intense bout of lore packed into it.
It's honestly, I'd say it's kind of a prototype of Steven Universe of how much lore dump and a storyline it has. It's like, wait a minute.
I get that.
Whee!
Ha 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 ha.
The CEOs get left to die. Peak.
Luigi,
Sorry.
is that you?
No, not you.
Way to give this movie its theme
Hey,
song. Shooty.
that's also what happened to the guy in the bear costume in The Shining. I guess that's he just decided to take a trip to space. So there you go. Bye then. Hilarious. Hello.
It's not a seatbelt.
What was that bear even doing on that
Remember,
ship?
apparently they had a zoo in there.
There's a
Oh, right, we included a
cancellation
cancellation button.
Does anyone know where it is?
I like how the self-destruct button, of course, prompts a dance party.
Of
button.
course.
Out of order.
Yeah.
Hey, you skipped a second.
Just kidding. Well,
there
they're
they go.
clearly dead.
Yep, I'm sure they'll never come back.
Hey, Tay, you want to tell me that interesting thing about what the studios wanted for
right.
the Death Star explosion?
Apparently, when during making of episode 4, pretty much the entire dev team wanted to champion for the Death Star explosion to have no sound because of the whole, no sound in space. But it was George Lucas who actually championed for actually keeping it in.
It's,
I was discussing this to Deji yesterday. I think if they pulled off something similar to what Oppenheimer does, it would have worked out. But at the time, probably they don't have the technology to recreate it. Also, yeah, in order to cut off the plot line, Pizza the Hut died off screen.
Oh,
on the back of his stretched limo.
So the whole prize in cash is meaningless now.
Well, hey, maybe we might have gotten something else out of the whole thing.
Man, Rocky 5000 is not, just what it used to be after, number 300.
I mean,
Yeah, because it's focusing on the
3003.
Creed family.
I mean, it's still
Honestly,
better than Rocky 5000 still better than Rocky 5.
What
I
a
mean-
bar. Got it.
I mean, hey, look. Honestly, I
No,
think
wait,
the
what
Rocky
are you talking
series-
about? There was never a Rocky 5 at all. That's just a fan film.
I mean, it
A
is
really
called...
impressive bootleg.
It's not even called Rocky 5, it's called Rocky Balboa.
Honestly, though,
yeah.
I think the Rocky series kind of found its stride again around Rocky 3969.
Clearly. Wake the fuck up.
Wake up, blonde Farquaad.
Also, there was the actual Millennium Falcon, if you noticed on the right. How did they sneak that in?
I'm guessing
What's George
Lucas
gonna
was
do?
okay
Sue
with
him?
that. Again, Lucas apparently gave him carte blanche to do whatever so long as there was no merchandising.
We kind of need more podcast, side series about a space diner. I think there's a lot of untapped potential.
What are you referencing?
There was a podcast about something like that Inca reviewed not too long ago, but I forgot what it was called. Burger something? I forgot.
Is it an actual Star Wars thing or just
No.
else?
It's more about a burger joint, but it's kind of like displaced out of space and time, so it has the chance to function as kind of a transportation device of sorts. But again, the idea of a series, not even Star Wars rated. Oh, I wonder what this is referencing, where it's about bar burger joints and sees all shenanigans, coming down, kind of similar to Deep Space Nine for Star Trek, but in a more low key context.
Wait, is that John Hurt I see?
Yeah, it is.
What is he doing?
Joking.
John, are you alright? Dang.
Oh,
It's a
Here we go.
baby.
Wait,
you're a mother now. Congrats.
Again? What?
basically,
So
for those who don't know, John Hurt was, if I recall correctly, the first one to die in Alien with the chest buster and everything.
poor him.
Like, when
He died in Alien, was brought back for this movie only to die again.
When they were just had the close up on its head, it looks like a chihuahua.
Also, now we got one Alien evening.
Lovely.
I guess maybe that's what the Xenomorphs just wanted, to go to Broadway.
That would explain so much.
Take two, yeah, for real this time.
Totally.
No.
That makes him such a nice guy.
Hey, like, feels expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, he turned down the money and everything. Wow.
Right, the fortune cookie. Let's see. Yeah. How convenient.
Prince Pullman.
It's kind of amazing how this type of, twist, which is parodied here, was still kept for stuff like the Tangled series with Eugene.
Cute.
Oh.
But what will we do when the Schwarz awakens?
There
Is
truly
everything branded now?
Yeah, there's truly is a merchandise for everything. I don't remember the Fast and Furious series of doing these for their nitro canisters.
Where we're going, we don't need. Oh no, wait, we do have those anyway.
Of course, we also need to
Planet of
reference
the
this.
Apes.
I forgot
Oh,
that.
right.
Have you actually seen Planet of the Apes?
Not
And you haven't.
really.
I'll
Do
guess.
you know the twist?
Well, everyone
Yeah.
knows about. Again, even the Simpsons. Everyone knows at least the Simpsons parody of
Dr.
it.
Zayas, Dr. Zayas.
Yeah, Statue of Liberty.
Yes.
That was
Been referenced by
ours.
everyone and their dog.
Yeah, I'll show you those eventually too, Dad. Don't worry.
Yeah, well, I have to watch the remake first because of the.
Did they actually get Roddy
Verify.
McDowell back for this?
It seems that they at least got the same kind of prosthetics, so at the very least it's very accurate.
It's amazing how they're committed to the bit with their parodies.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Again, Mel
Well-
Brooks understood the concept of humor that is used these days for stuff like YouTube poops. The whole remixing, but still trying to be committed to the beat.
again. Not to say all Seltzerberg's movies failed. In fact, they did have a good start, but a lot of the problem with, the typical Seltzerberg movie that you think of is that they don't commit nearly as well as Mel
No, we
Brooks
just have,
does.
here's a reference. We're not doing much with it, or if we're doing something, it's very gross and out of touch.
Honestly, the best type of parodies to me are the ones that are made of people who are fans of the source material.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know people love Mega 64's parodies because of it.
Anyway.
I'm almost surprised Mel Brooks didn't also play the priest. He usually loves doing those kinds of roles
Let
in
me
his
check
movies.
if it's credited for the role. Rodney Graham as the minister. Oh, it was also in Robin Man in Tights, so he's also semi-recurring for Mel Brooks. Oh. Where did you get
Lord,
the
that's a
costume?
costume.
I get it, this was still the 80s, but holy shit.
And look, the Chewie parody got his medal before Chewie did.
Oh my god.
Okay, I will say this. If anything, the prequels and sequels will definitely give the sequel to Spaceballs so much more to work with.
Please, if it's not called The Search for More Money, then what are we doing?
I know, right?
I also love that all the people invited from Druidia all have medieval clothes instead.
It's like if The Hobbit merged with Star
There you
Wars.
go, just married, of course.
May the Schwarz be with you.
And there you go, we even get a similar way of credits just without the wipe.
I wonder if Mel had the villain survive because he had a sequel in mind and, wanted a sequel to make sense,
Also,
which I guess would mean that, hey, Spaceballs had more foresight with its sequel than a certain other series did.
Also, Ronnie Graham was also one of the writers, I guess. That makes sense. Let me check the other one. Thomas Meehan.
Let's see if there's a post-credit scene.
I don't think so. We just have, here's the cast. Again, like the 80s did.
Starring Mel Brooks as Master Yogurt.
Michael Winslow? I forgot.
I've heard that name before. Michael Winslow.
Was in Gremlins, Police Academy. Oh man, I'm so sorry for him.
Was Police Academy a bad movie?
A bad series of movies. Oh yes.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Was Police Academy the series that led up to Naked Gun?
I don't know about it, but he started a series of movies and then, had an actual series, even a cartoon. It was in Sharknado 3. Oh, hell no.
Wait. Why?
Because it was a pedestrian in GTA San Andreas. Oh god, he was in The Trumpet of the Swan. Poor guy, too.
It is nice that they do credit the actress who actually physically played Dot Matrix there.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Alright, so in the meantime, I guess we can have our final thoughts. Lives.
It was fun. I mean, there were some little gaps here and there, comedy-wise, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just a matter of taste.
Mm-hmm.
I think what mainly carries the movie is the cast, especially Brooks and Rick Moranis. Well, I say Brooks because Brooks had multiple roles, and Moranis only had Darth Helmet, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And well, okay, there wasn't too much about this that screamed Star Wars parody to me. It just kind of seemed like a parody of most things. Although it was mostly funny, unlike a lot of the Salzburg stuff, which tried the same thing. And hey, the effects are really good, especially for something that's had a pretty low budget. So yeah, overall, I did enjoy this film quite a bit, and I look forward to seeing the sequel whenever that comes out next year.
All right then, Deja.
This movie still holds up. Really funny, insanely quotable. Again, a wild commitment to the bit, especially when it serves with the props. Feels like a once in a lifetime movie.
Again, it helps that they actually had the blessing of the original creator and the effects from ILM to help make it feel like it could be considered on par with its original.
Look, the only thing this movie
material.
is missing is a Weird Al song parody.
Which is funny because Weird Al actually was in the Transformers movie as well.
Dare
to be stupid.
Yeah.
Yes. Lord, the Transformers movie is such an anomaly.
Yeah, that's one thing you can say. I'll save my thoughts after recording, but yeah, overall good stuff. Next,
I look forward to your thoughts on the Toy Massacre of 1986, Dej. Shirai?
Fun movie. Even if you haven't seen it, you've probably heard something from it. It's still fun to watch now. I don't think I have anything else to add. It's just a good movie.
All right, Tio.
Yeah, I'll go next. Again, it's still fine. I still like a bit more Men in Tights, but I argue this one is the one that aged for the better. Again, a lot of people still hold up a lot to Mel Brooks movies as idea of how to do jokes of all kind, including some of the more risque ones that these days it would be extremely more hard to pull off. Oh, there you go. The Industrial Light and Magic created the alien puppet, interestingly enough. But these Mel Brooks movies usually tend to pull it off for the most part. I still believe his biggest weakness was how he portrayed LGBT character, but again, I guess you should be able to expect that around the time. But again, for this movie alone, almost everything works out. Really, I couldn't count maybe on the top of my head, on one hand, the jokes that might not have landed. And even then, it's more of a case of this is not really particularly funny, rather than, to be catastrophic failure. So it is a testament to the quality of the movie, admittedly. Again, the parody aspect is there, but you can tell about the level of care put into it and how much the creators really do like also Star Wars in parodying it rather than to be spiteful about it, which is again appreciated. The acting is fine. Like I said, Princess Vespa whole shtick about being a bit snobbish might get a bit old, but I can imagine, it is the natural conclusion of wanting to parody specifically Princess Leia, specifically from the early stages of the OG trilogy. Uh, Again, and they don't even go one-to-one even with all the characters. Like, for example, we don't even have an R2-D2 equivalent where, the dynamic between him and C-3PO in the trilogies has always been kind of, an important part. While here the movie is perfectly content to just have, just the C-3PO parody. Kind of like Star Chaser when you get down to it. It always comes
It's
back
kind
to
of.
that.
Well,
Except
I
Star
guess.
Chaser is not supposed to be a parody. It's just a shallow imitation.
And also, that's if Han Solo wanted to bang C-3PO with how Star Chaser does it.
I mean, who are you to judge that, Jova?
I mean, hey, apparently Star Wars decided to take that to heart by making
L337, yes. Anyway, my point being always being, I get it, and I'm fine with the movie despite all these years later. I'm still not even cautiously optimistic. I'm genuinely just worried about the sequel at this point. I can't believe Mel Brooks can still potentially pull it off, but again, the fact that almost everyone, is very old and/or dead makes me worried that the problem will not be. I'm already not expecting to be on this level for obvious reason for the same of this movie, but I do wonder if most of the jokes will be, we're old now, we can't do that much, So we'll have to see what happens to that. Fingers crossed, I suppose. Java.
Wait, actually,
Yeah.
Taya, wait, hold on. I just had a really funny idea because because there's a lot of Star Wars material. What if the joke is that it's mostly CGI as a jab at the prequels?
As long as you don't have anything involving Gen AI, I guess will be interesting. But again, we'll have to see.
Yeah. My guess is that'll at best go to like maybe one or two scenes, but it probably won't be for the majority of the movie, especially since, well, the sequel trilogy does also have CGI, but it was also a big point of them bringing back practical effects and whatnot.
You have to also remember, it's technically financed by Amazon, so they will have the budget potentially to pull off if they want to.
Yeah.
Go on.
All right, then. I was apparently the only person who had not seen Spaceballs before this, and I'm happy to say I was not let down. Like, it's one that, again, it's obviously a parody, but it's a movie that could arguably stand on its own 2 feet as well, which is something you don't often see from parodies. Again, the production values are pretty good. The humor and writing are honestly on point, and God, a lot of these jokes are timeless and still apply to this day, some for the better, some for the worse, obviously. And yet, despite being a parody, something about it doesn't feel too cliched. At least in the sense that, even for the time when it was released, it seems like it does enough maverick maneuvers that you can feel somewhat pleasantly surprised by what it does. Obviously, some of it is made for, like, direct contrast from the original source material and whatnot. But it's a very fun romp. All the characters are pretty memorable, even the ones that are, like, bit characters. Like, again, like, that's one of Mel Brooks' talents. I feel like almost every character he crafts turns out to be super memorable, at least, in his peak era and whatnot. Which is, again, so ironic that when this movie came out, people thought, Mel Brooks is losing his touch, which is, again, ironic since now some people consider this his magnum opus. Again, personally, my favorite of his is still Blazing Saddles, maybe followed by Men in Tights and whatnot. There are a few I haven't seen. Like, I've seen the stage play musical version of Young Frankenstein, but not the original movie.
I can tell you personally, Jovan, Young Frankenstein holds up for the most part, but there is one particular scene that tries to mimic the encounter that the creature had with a blind monk, that it's all about basically a gigantic Mr. Magoo stick, which, as you can imagine, has an aged more very gracefully.
Yeah, I think the musical kind of touched up on that from what I saw, but we'll save that for when we actually get to commentating on it. I've also seen Dracula Dead and loving it. I think it's fine, but that's definitely on kind of his lower end of stuff. But nah, Spaceballs feels like quintessential Mel Brooks when he's not being held back. Because again, this is one of the few cases where the parody had the legit, honest to God support of the original creator and the special effects team behind original creation to help make this feel like its own big blockbuster epic. And hey, to their credit, they did leave room open for a sequel in a way that won't feel stupid or forced by having the bad guys technically survive. So, neato. Yeah, no, even the music was nice. Again, it's got that nice 80s feel that, yeah, it makes it easy to tell that it was in the 80s, but it's done well enough in a way that it feels timeless. Kind of like how a Goofy movie is unapologetically 90s, but we love it timelessly for that, essentially. Yeah, no, I actually really enjoyed this movie, honestly, and I will say this, I have, for the most part, cautious optimism for the sequel. Like, I trust the people behind it at least know what they're doing, provided there's not some scandal going on behind the scenes where Amazon are pulling stupid executive mandates that screw with the project. I can believe that a lot of these actors only truly chose to come back because they believed in the project. I do hope that they at least have enough energy and wit to match. Now, we do have some new actors joining the fray who may be able to help things go along as
Especially
well.
because
So,
some of the ones that are dead, are a bit irreplaceable. Like again, John Candy, it cannot be underestimated how much energy he pours into everything he was in. So his absence will be missed a lot.
I'm wondering if he'll have a replacement that's like his son or something like that. Or, oh god, imagine if they do a joke based off of Tarkin from Rogue One.
We'll see.
Again, though, honestly, I loved this movie, and I am looking forward to the sequel. And we'll see what we do for next year's April Fools next year.
See ya.
Ta-ta.